Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum and welcome to the Pocket Talk iJam 2020. My name is Ruslina Muhammad. I'm with the Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Centre, and I am a sectoral lead for circular economy and solid waste. Today I'm going to walk everybody through towards circular economy plastic, and this is a session 1. We are going to go for the slide 2. If you take a look at the slide, you can see there is a linear economy and also there is a circular economy. So what is a circular economy? Before we go to the circular economy, let's walk through a linear economy. What is a linear economy? A linear economy is basically traditionally follows the take, make, dispose step-by-step plan. This means that the raw materials are collected, then transformed into products that are used until they are finally discarded as waste. Value is created in this economy system by producing and selling as many products as possible. But then the disadvantage of this economy is where all waste go into the landfill. And if you take a look at the chart here, you can see from the raw material, it goes to the design and production, distribution, use, collection and recycling, and towards the end is basically a landfill. So the waste, this economy is generated waste and using a landfill. So to improve of this economy, this is where the circular economy. So what is a circular economy? Circular economy is basically a systemic approach to the economic development designed to benefit business, society and the environment. In contrast to the take, make, waste linear economy, circular economy is regenerative by design and aims to gradually decouple growth from the consumption of finite resources. And the advantage of this economy is basically no waste going to the landfill. So that is absolutely a zero waste. Okay, if you we go to the slide number 2, which is 7 key elements of the circular economy. So in the circular economy, there are some key elements, and the first is basically design for the future. What is design for the future? Design for the future is account for the system perspective during the design process, to use the right material, to design for the appropriate lifetime, and to design for the extended future use. So for example, we're giving you the example of a phone company. This company design modular mobile phones by using fair materials, good working conditions, to enable the reuse and also recycling of parts. So that means that the phone that we have it today, if it's broken, you cannot be used anymore. So, do not throw it away. You can just trade at the recycling center where they can take it out, all those parts that can be able to reuse it again. Okay, for the second one is basically incorporated digital technology, where track and optimize resources use and strengthen connection between supply chain actors through digital, online platforms, and technology that prove insight. So what is the example of this incorporated digital technology? The example is basically asset sharing marketplace for a company. Where there's a platform to reduce costs and increase product utilization by matching supply and demand. So if you have a company that is asset sharing marketplace, this company is basically matching supply and also demand. And also there's another example where, for example, like a global logistics service provider company, where they experiment with integrating crowd-based logistic, like they are using drones and also parcel helicopters into logistic system and delivery chains, where they can deliver in very fast and also the cost saving. Okay, let's go to the number 3. Number 3 is where we preserve and extended what already made. While resources are in use, maintain, repair, and upgrade them to maximize their lifetime and give them a second life through take-back strategies when applicable. So what does this mean? We give example of automobile company, where this company remanufacture automobile electronic components based on innovative and cost-effective process, where the company demonstrate the viability of its business model. So that basically how they preserve and extend what's already made. And for the fourth one is prioritize regenerative resources, where it's ensure renewable, reusable, non-toxic resources are utilized as material and energy in an efficient way. So let's give an example. For example, like the company, or we can say like the company in the sustainable aviation fuels, where they have new supply chain and also production process, and also they supply fuels to many airlines on all the continents. Okay, and then if you go to the number 5, use waste as a resources, where utilize waste stream as resources of the secondary resources and recover waste for reuse and also recycling. The example of this is about a company that developed a game-changing technology and produce high-grade raw material from PET waste. Also companies that focuses in transforming waste material into a wide range of the useful products. So this is basically waste, use waste as a resources. And then we can go for number 6, which is rethink the business model. The company should consider opportunities to create greater value and align incentives through business models that build on the interaction between products and also services. We can give an example of the mattress and bed manufacturer, where they aiming to produce fully circular products. The company also perhaps have plans to move towards pay-per-use leasing models for its beds to retain ownership of its products and raw material. Okay, lastly, we have collaborate to create joint value. This is where work together throughout the supply chain, internally or within organization, and with the public sectors to increase transparency and create joint value. The example is a multinational chemical company that is active in health, nutrition, and also material, where the company engage in frequent collaboration internally to develop innovative solution and also engage in the varieties of the partnership with academia and also the public sectors. So that is basically 7 elements of the circular economy. And for information, all these information we have gathered it from the Circle Economy and also World Economy Forum. Okay, and now I would like to link from this circular economy to what is circular economy plastic. But before we go to the what is circular economy plastic, we need to know about the plastic itself. So what about plastic? Plastic, actually, the production of plastic increased by more than 24 between 1964 and 2015, with an annual output of 322 million metric tons, and it expected to double by 2035 and almost quadruple by 2050. Plastic contribute to the economic growth, but their current production and the use pattern on a linear model of take, make, use, and dispose is a primary driver of natural resources depletion, waste, environmental degradation, climate change, and has adverse human health effects. So there are about the few elements of plastic, where the first one is some plastic contains toxic chemical additives. So it means like including some plastic contain toxic chemical additives, where including persistent organic pollutants, which have been linked to the health issues such as cancer, metal, reproductive, and development disease. It is difficult to recycle some plastics without perpetuating these chemicals. And for number 2, plastic stays in the environment for a long time. So plastic, some can take up to 500 years to break down. This causes damages, harms biodiversity, and depletes the ecosystem services needed to support life. In the marine environment, plastic are broken down into tiny pieces like a microplastic, which threaten marine biodiversity. Okay, for the number 3 is microplastics are an emerging source of soil and freshwater pollution. So the contamination of the tap and bottled water by microplastic is already widespread, and the WHO is assessing the possible effects on human health. For the number 4 is total of plastic ever produced have been discarded either in landfills or elsewhere in the environment, expected to increase about 12,000 metric tons by 2050. So that basically the amount of the ocean plastic could be tripled by 2025 without further intervention. By 2050, there will be more plastic by weight in the oceans than the fish if the current take, use, dispose model continues. So we need to ensure that plastic goes in the circularity. And for the number 5 is basically conventional plastic production is high dependent on the virgin fossil feedstock. This is as well as other resources including water. It takes about 185 liters of water to make a kilogram of plastic. Plastic production uses up to the 6% of the global oil production, and this is expected to increase to 20% by 2050. And plastic-related greenhouse gas emission may represent 15% of the global annual carbon budget. So the lastly is international waters where plastic pollution is prevalent in all oceans globally. So this is about the plastic that we need to know and we need to aware. And why is it important that plastic need to go for circular economy plastic? Okay, now we are going to the slide number 5 where we'll talk about the circular economy plastic. What is a circular economy plastic? It is almost the same with any circular economy, where the circular economy is an alternative to a current linear make use dispose economy models, which aims to keep resources in use for as long as possible, to extract the maximum value from them whilst in use, and to recover and regenerate products and materials at the end of their service life. It offers an opportunity to minimize the negative impacts of plastic while maximizing the benefit from plastic and their products and providing environmental, economic, and societal benefits. So that is a circular economy plastic. There are a few ways of the circular economy plastic, where number 1 is using plastic waste as resources. The capture and recovery of plastic waste for remanufacturing into new value products has been widely demonstrated. I mean, that is not normal anymore. It's widely demonstrated in the world. For example, for making bricks and also composite, in road construction, for furniture, as well as for making clothes and also footwear. Plastic waste has also been converted to liquid fuel and has been burned as fuel in a waste to energy cycle. Through there are downsides to the latter. Through chemical recycling, the petrochemical components of plastic polymers can also be recovered for use in producing new plastic and for the production of other chemicals as an alternative fuel. For example, a recent study successfully developed plastic that can be chemically recycled and reused infinitely. Also, there's a study suggested that polyethylene plastic, a significant proportion of manufactured plastic globally, can be broken down by bacteria and caterpillars, highlighting opportunities for bio-based recycling of plastic waste. So that is basically good news. Okay, and if you take a look at number 2 and number 3, where redesign plastic manufacturing process and products to improve longevity, reusability, and waste prevention by incorporating after-use, asset recovery, and waste pollution prevention into the design from outset. So that means adopting a life cycle approach, including cleaner production, discouraging single-use plastic, as well as designing products for appropriate lifetime, extended use, and for ease of separation repair, upgrade, and recycling, eliminating toxin substances, and preventing the release of microplastic into the environment by redesigning products. For example, if we're designing clothes and tires to reduce wear and tear, and eliminating or using alternative to microplastic in personal care products such as toothpaste and shampoo. So that is a two example where you design clothes and tires. Basically is to reduce wear and tear, and also alternative to the microplastic where in the care products such as toothpaste and also shampoo where to reduce a microplastic. Okay, if we go to the number 4, where increased collaboration between businesses and consumers to increase awareness of the need for and the benefit of a shift from the non-essential plastic use and a throw-away culture to encourage recycling and to increase the value of plastic products. For example, by using byproducts from one industry as a raw material for another industry, this is called industrial symbiosis. Several analyses have highlighted the climate and environmental benefit from plastic waste recycling through industrial symbiosis. Another example is where household can be included in the symbiosis process by strengthening waste collection system and by creating innovative and effective take-back system. There's another analysis of the urban industrial symbiosis where exchanging resources between residential and industrial area in a Chinese city indicate that producing energy from the plastic waste led to an annual reduction of CO2 emission of 78,000 tons while avoiding the discharge of 25,000 tons of waste plastic a year into the environment. So we need to rethink plastic. For the number 6 is embrace sustainable business models, which promotes products as service and encourage the sharing and leasing of plastic products. So what does this mean? This would optimize product utilization and increase revenue while decreasing the volume of the manufactured products. An example of this is the leasing of the water dispenser and refillable plastic bottles to the household and office. I do believe that leasing of the water dispensable is something that is very common and norm right now, where almost all offices are using the leasing of the water dispenser. Another example is a Lego play system where consumer rent and return Lego set rather than buy them, because Lego is quite expensive, it's quite costly, so you are not using it every day. You just instead of you buying, you just rent. Okay, the number 7 is develop robust information platform which provide data on the composition of plastic products, track the movement of the plastic. Actually, this information platform can be able to track the movement of the plastic resources within the economy, will support a cross-value chain dialogue and the exchange of the knowledge and build on experiments gained through existing global institutional network. So this is basically where you have the information platform. And then for the number 8, actually this number 8 is very important, where policy instruments including fiscal and regulatory measures to deal with the negative effect of the unsustainable production and use of plastic. Actually, without these measures, market will continue to favor fossil feedstock, especially when oil prices are low, and the barriers to achieving the circular economy would be more difficult to overcome. So to ensuring that the cost of unsustainable production and use are taken into account would encourage production from alternative less harmful sources, as well as prevent waste and stimulate reuse and recycling. For the fiscal policy measures, for example, like direct surcharge, levies, carbon or resources taxes, taxes on specific types of plastic such as plastic bag. Okay, for this one, we have it here in Malaysia, where when you go to the shopping complexes, when you need the plastic, you have to pay 20 cents. So that is basically the specific types of plastic, such as plastic bag, that the taxes on the specific. Okay, and then also disposable cutlery and one or any other single-use items may be needed to discourage non-essential plastic use and other unsustainable practice while helping to improve the uptake, financial viability, and quality of the plastic recycling. Other regulatory and policy measures are also needed, including recycling targets, extended producer responsibility. For the extended producer responsibility, actually Malaysia has proudly come up with the mechanism of the extended producer responsibility, and we applaud WWF for done that, and we are going to support the WWF document, and perhaps one day it will become the policy in Malaysia. So for the extended producer responsibility, or EPR, we are in the good hands. And okay, the next is container deposit legislation, mandatory requirement and standards for circular or eco-design, public procurement policies, ban on landfilling and incineration, and outright bans on some plastic products, for example, like single-use plastics. So, ladies and gentlemen, basically all the information that I've given is taken from the STEP document under Global Environment Facilities and also UN Environment. We would like to thank them for all the information that they have, they let it be accessible so that we can be able to use it for the knowledge sharing. Okay, now we have gone through what is a rethink of the plastic made in the circular economy plastic. And now if you take a look at the slide, you can see there's another model which is a circular economy plastic on the chemical innovation. This model is basically, we get it from the plastic strategy research and innovation agenda in the circular economy. Let's go through with this model, where if you take a look at the orange color, it means a production change. And then if you take a look at the blue, the dark blue arrows, you can see that it's a recycling technology. So it goes everywhere. It can go to the plant. It can also transportation, collection, and so on. And if you take a look at the it's a light blue is basically where the carbon emission utilization. The rate is basically energy recovery. So if you want to know more about this, you can go to the Plastic Strategy Research Innovation Agenda in the Circular Economy. Is some kind of like a report. So you can go ahead and take a look at it. Okay, when we talk about the circular economy plastic, there are not many success stories in the world yet, but few success stories that we can be able to share with everybody to see how it goes. So I have one success story here that I would like to share with you. Basically, from the company named Close the Loop, and this is from the country Australia. And what they do, actually, they take back, they recover, and also they reuse. So this company has spent more than a decade recovering value from the old printer cartridges and soft plastic. Their new innovation turns this material into a roads. The products are mixed in with asphalt and recycled glass to produce a higher quality road surface that lasts up to the 65 longer than traditional asphalt. In every kilometer of road laid, the equivalent of 530,000 plastic bags, about 168,000 glass bottles, and the waste toner from 12,500 printer cartridges is used in the mix. So instead of ending up in the landfill, all the waste is given a new life, getting us where we need to go. So we would like to applaud this company, and we hope that they know that we are sharing their success story for the world to know. So I hope that I can be able to get more success story in the future to share with everyone. But for this time, we don't have. I only have a very limited time to share with you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to conclude my presentation here today. Later we're going to have a session 2, but the date is to be advised. If you have any questions or you need any clarification and you need the slides, please kindly submit your name and email to me, roslina@greentabmalaysia.my, and for notification. And should we have a second session, that we will let you know. So with that, I would like to thank everyone for being here today, and please continue the iGEM journey, and thank you very much.